All right, welcome to Book Club. I'm Dylan, here with the guy who smokes 10 packs of Chaga a day. Keith, what's up, buddy?
Chaga, another name for Marlboro Reds?
That's pretty much what they called it, I think. It was like tobacco was Chaga, I guess. So here at the Buddy Book Club, we're breaking down some bestsellers, and this week we'll be discussing the third and final book in the First Law trilogy, The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. If you'd like to recommend a book for us to read or reach out to us like past episodes, you can visit our website, buddy.com, slide into our DMs on X or Instagram. That's Buddy Book Club Podcast. That's the handle. You can listen to us iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Download, subscribe, 5-star review would be great. Please and thanks. Keith, we did it. We've probably started 10 trilogies and finished 4, so I'm glad we're here. This book was published in 2008, 4.37 on Goodreads, which is 1/100th of a point above the last one, which was Before They're Hanged. So people, I guess, think it's 1/100th of a point better. I'm not sure. We'll find out today. Let's get into some stock up, stock down. Keith, what do you have for stock up for The Last Argument of Kings?
Stock up, The Manhattan Project.
Oh, Oppenheimer. Great film.
Starting off a little crazy, but I think this whole book was an allegory for World War II and ultimately dropping the nuclear bomb on, aka the seed, on Japan a couple times.
So the Gurkish were the Japanese?
Well, let me get to it, sir. You don't want to lead the cart before the horse, or whatever the fucking saying.
You got it. Good job.
Okay, so Bayaz, he's the U.S. He's leading the expedition, the Manhattan Project. He's looking for the seed. He's in Iraq, or finding a rock, I don't know, whatever, to find the nuclear bomb. He doesn't find it there. He comes back. He finally does find the seed, which we can all agree is just a nuclear bomb, right? It destroys the city and it causes radiation poisoning to everyone, right?
Yeah, it did have some radiation poisoning aspects to it.
He's the U.S. because he ends up using the nuclear bomb, the seed, causes massive destruction. He's very unapologetic about it. He's like, whatever, and justify the means. I don't give a shit. Yeah, tons of people are dying. The breaks,
I'm not sure that was Truman's sentiment, but continue.
They all knew what they were doing. Logan is the UK. He's an ally, but he can be brutal. He's taken his fair share of fire bombings, but he's right there with us. Jezal is obviously France, and Ferro is Russia. And then the other two, I couldn't really use the analogy for Germany and Japan. I couldn't really figure out how.
The problem is there's not World War II was, people love it because it was a clear definition of good versus evil. Whereas this world that we're in here with the Last Argument of Kings, there really is no good or evil. It's just everyone has a little bit of both in them. So it's hard to say, Mamoon or whatever was definitely bad, as was Khalul. So Mamoon was like Khalul's henchman or whatever the case is. But yeah. So they're definitely bad, but at the same time, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot, Bayaz was clearly a bad person, or a bad magi or whatever the case is. He wasn't interested in doing this altruistically. He didn't say, oh, the seed, it's going to have some collateral damage, but we need it to save the Union, and that's who I'm for. Bayaz is only for himself. So it's hard to kind of draw a parallel there necessarily, but I like that. I like where you're going with it.
You're saying. You just said it in the nicest way possible. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
It made more sense when he was searching for the seed, book 2, and I was like, oh, so he's just he's trying to do the research for the project, and he struck out, but then he finds it and uses it, and it's a nuclear bomb.
Yeah. Jezal being the Vichy French government makes a lot of sense, though.
Vinny Vici?
They're just puppets to the Nazis, pretty much. Oh,
wow. You went deep on the history books. I'm not aware of that the Vichy government, but okay.
It's when the Nazis came in, they put up, France was allowed to continue or whatever as it was, but they put up basically a puppet government, which was the Vichy French, and they did the bidding of the Nazis. So when the Nazis were like, send us your Jews, they were like, yep, no problem. They're on a train. They're coming right to you. And they were like, oh, if anyone's doing this, arrest them. It's like, yep, sure, we'll do it for you. So yeah, they were pieces of shit too.
Yikes. That's tough luck.
Pieces of shit. My first stock up is a good PR campaign. Stock up. I feel like I've done this before, and maybe even in this series, but I am, of course, referring to Bayaz's masterful stroke to get Jezal the
what?
throne.
You said he's a master stroke? What? God.
Master debater. So the last minute when they're at this meeting or whatever the case is to elect the new king, Bayaz saves Jezal's being the illegitimate son of King Guslav till the last minute. Very smart. Throws that out there. People gasp, oh my gosh. And then uses Jezal's supposed exploits in quelling the commoner uprising that happened and his heroics in the journey to the old empire to emphasize Jezal's like fittingness for that role. But it turns out Bayaz had used one of his guys to manufacture that uprising, basically created the whole thing, said, oh yeah, Jezal can take care of it. Bayaz pretty much handled the whole thing and then gave all the glory to Jezal just so he could put him up as his puppet. This is his Vichy France right here. You know, he put him up as his puppet government.
That's your boy, by the way. I remember that.
Jezal?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for Jezal this whole time. Also, Jezal had a nice little charge. He had a bayonet charge into the Gurkish when he's the king. You know, it's not like he sat there. He could have sat there, rested on his fake laurels, said, oh yeah, I am the best, and, you know, been a terrible person or at least lazy or whatever the case was. He was the king and his wife was kicking him out of bed. He was pulling a Michael Scott and sleeping on the little bed at the thing you sit on at the end of a bed, whatever that thing's called. He was pulling a Michael Scott and doing that in his own throne room. So, or his own king's quarters, whatever the case is. So, I mean, it could also be a stock up of, you know, of embellishments on your resume kind of thing, because, you know, what did Jezal do in the old empire? Like we talked about in the last ep, he just got hit in the face with a mace. Yeah, he fought a couple of guys, did well, but then he just got hit in the face with a mace and like cried the whole time. So yeah, I mean, stock up to a good PR campaign. Bayaz did a wonderful job with that, and as it turns out, Bayaz had Prince Reynaud killed by his guy, his apprentice, Yoru Sulfur, to basically open up the spot on the throne for Jezal to fill. So, yeah, Bayaz not a great guy, but he's playing chess against everyone else playing checkers for sure. Because the whole time before that, it's Glokta trying to get Salt or whoever elected, and then this other guy's coming in, and he's going to get elected, and there's almost this fight for votes. But then once the whole thing commences, they realize they were all getting played by Bayaz the whole entire time. Gotta show respect where respect's due. Props up to Bayaz there.
I will say, though, you give him props, but it's when you control the media, the banks, you control, you have magic, like... What are we doing? Like, is it really that hard? I could do that. You
and
know?
he's like 1,000 years old, so he's seen it all.
He's like, I've seen it all. He's like, yeah, I just did a $1 million loan. It wasn't really that talented. You just bought everything.
Yeah, but we've seen Rory McIlroy go into the Masters with a 4-shot lead and blow up. So, you know, just because you have all the tools doesn't mean you're going to win every single time. He's no Bill Russell.
That's true. I mean, it'd be more like comparable to like some politician that spent 100 times X their opponent and loses. That would be more if he blew it. But you know, he's got all the spending. He's got all the people in the right place. Like, you know,
he's got the best TV spots.
yeah, exactly.
Vote Jezal.
Yeah.
What else do you have for stock up?
Go-to saying stock up.
Oh, you're talking about Logan?
Yeah, last time I touched on this, but I mean, I'm a king of this. You know, I do this all the time. It's all mental. Any Kramer line, any Austin Powers line. I have about 10 I use all the time, which none of them are original. I've taken from other people.
What's your number one besides Giddy Up? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's putty, but either way.
Yeah, that checks.
I don't know. There's a few out there. Anyways, I wanted to see what your favorite is. I don't know if we got to it last time, but these are all Logan, and I added a couple that I just found online that might have been him. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But you have to be realistic.
I think you have to be realistic about things, right? Okay.
Yeah. We have to be realistic about things. Still alive. Alive. Say one thing for Logan. Say he's a cunt. Which is the best one.
That might be the best one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's better to do something than live with a fear of it.
I love that one, yeah.
Yep. You can never have too many knives. You have to be realistic again. I think I already said that one. History is littered with good dead men. I found that one. I'm not sure. I think it was his.
Yeah, I think so. It's also like sounds like a good Civil War quote, like a Grant quote.
Hard words are for fools and cowards, which I liked. Mm-hmm. Treat a man like a dog, and sooner or later he'll bite you.
Okay.
Yeah. That might have been Dog Man. I don't know who said that one. But anyways, those are the ones I found. There's a few other quotes. I don't know if I could attribute it to him, so just stuck with those. What was your favorite of those?
What's you can say one thing about Logan Nine figures. You can what is it?
Say one thing for Logan Nine figures. Say he's whatever. His best one was say he's a cunt, because when he realized he was being a cunt.
You could use that well in conversation. If you had done something that someone thought was potentially rude or immoral or whatever the case is, you could say one thing about Keith McGonagall. Say he's a cunt. It's fine. Totally good. And I like that one.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
I have a friend of a friend whose name's Richie, and he was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Richie." And I was like, "Richie Cunningham. This is my wife, Oprah." He's like, "What is wrong with you? Who are you? And what is wrong with you?" Like, never met the guy. I just said, "Hi, I'm Richie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah."
He's got to know that. That's a pulse check on whether the person's a good dude.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with that one. Say anything about Logan. Say he's a cunt.
Okay. That's a classic. I think I'll go with it's better to do something than live with the fear of it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's something that you'll tell your kids. It's like, hey, if you're scared, you're scared to play baseball. The ball's coming in pretty fast. I get it, but it's better to do it than to live in the fear of it, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Also, if you had a chef friend, you could get them the too many knives thing, put it on like a home goods piece and have it hung up in their kitchen.
I like that.
Yeah. Stock up for me, petty gods. So it's a big part of Greek mythology. It's pretty much the backbone of it. Gods fighting each other over petty grievances, and we mere mortals getting caught in the crossfire. It turns out that's pretty much what's happening in Adua this whole time. The war, this entire war, this whole trilogy, everything that's happened is just a feud between Bayaz and Khalul, and neither side cares much who gets killed in the process. There's the Gurkish, there's the Union, there's the Northmen. Bayaz turns out to be just as bad as the supposed bad guys. When he, like you said, when he unleashes the seed, he basically chemical warfares the entire city, does not care about all the dead people. He's murdering princes and not caring. He's using people as pawns, whatever. It just seems like Bayaz has a very interesting arc. He's lying the whole time for sure. But at the beginning, we see him as somewhat of this Merlin-esque character where he's a little out there. He's funny. And then all of a sudden he blows someone's head off. But they're always the bad guys. And you think he's just a little eccentric. He's just like an eccentric wizard. But it turns out he's cold, cunning, calculating. He's all the C words. He's call Bayaz one thing. Call him a cunt, because he sure is. So at the end of it, the book and the whole trilogy, it makes you think, what was the point of all of it, right? Not in a, why did I read this? But for the people involved.
Oh, yeah.
It's just holy smokes, we did all this. War, really. We created all this at the bidding of these people that they don't even care about us. And granted, so few people even know that. It's only really Jezal and Glokta who really know what's going on. So it's dystopian.
Midway through the second one, I was like, oh, he's a bad guy. I couldn't bring it up in the last book because I'd already read too far into the third one. But I just knew at some point I was just like, oh, he's not a good dude. But yeah, you're just assume most wizards are good unless there's some clear, it's the dark wizard,
Yeah. You think wizard, you think, oh, okay, that's Merlin or Gandalf. Imagine if he told the crew when they were going to the Old Empire to find the seed. He's like, oh, it's going to be a weapon we can use against the Gurkish. He's like, oh, I'm just planning to annihilate everybody. I don't care who gets caught in the crossfires. None of you matter to me. You're all just pieces on my chessboard. I don't care about you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, the worst part of it is like at the end of the book too. Giselle's like, "Oh, I really want to like set up free healthcare and housing and stuff like that." And just like any politician, he's like, "That's not important to me. I don't give a fuck. You're not gonna do that right now. We're gonna focus on what I want. Okay, let's fund the military. Let's put all of our money overseas. Let's not put it here at home where we're spending. Fuck the common citizen. Let's help everything else that I want to help." So yeah.
my last one was, and I think I've done this before, but repeat's okay. It's a third one in trilogy. I'm going to repeat. Torture, stock up. Just got to throw it out there.
Always stock up.
Yeah. Supposedly, the liberals, just kidding, but supposedly, torture is not a reliable way to get information.
Have you read a Mitch Rapp book yet?
Abu Ghraib. Yeah, seriously. That's
time
probably
for me.
where I've, stocked up it.
Yeah.
But Glokta's system of nailing your hands down, chopping off sections of your fingers, and then threatening your taint, which is what there was like several pages of taint talk.
That's like TED Talk, right?
Yeah, Taint Talk. It's the sequel to TED Talks. Yeah, so after that gets threatened, people open their mouths. I did feel a little bad for Glokta that his practicals both turned on him, or I guess all three really. They all turned on him. We did get to see Glokta do some sword fighting, I guess. He had like a little knife in his cane or whatever that he used. And Artie came to his rescue. But he was able to torture out of, I can't remember what his kind of number one practical guy's name was, but he got out of him this whole thing that was happening with like the librarian guy, the guy who's in charge of the library, and Archlector Salt, who were trying to raise demons or some shit like that. So yeah, I guess torture at the end of the day, torture works, and it, whatever Glokta's form is probably the one that we should be using. No more waterboarding, just threaten taints.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is you're gonna break eventually. You might as well just not suffer. So just spill right away. It's that seems to be the best play. That or kill yourself. One of the two. That's what I mean. Like those are the two options. I feel like.
My biggest fear, and we read 1984, a lot of torture in there too. My biggest fear about being tortured is I would give everything up immediately. They wouldn't even have to do anything. Like before anything was on me, I'd be like, here, every name, it's all given up. Everything I know here. And they'd be like, no, we need more. It's like, that's legitimately everything. I have absolutely nothing else. They're just like, well, let's torture you anyways. That's a fear for me.
Have you seen Heart's War?
Is that the Bruce Willis movie?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I see the cover.
I brought it up before.
I see the cover in my head.
Good. The Germans capture you, and then they, like the first guy's really nice to you. He interrogates you. Then they take your like shoes off, and you're like freezing your feet, and then they spray water on you. They get to all these stages of torture, and if you get to like the fourth dude, that means you actually held out. And the main guy, Colin Farrell, tells him he got to the first dude, and he's like, I didn't give anyone up. And then he knows he did because he didn't get to like down the stages or whatever you need to get to.
He's like, did they threaten your taint? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you definitely gave everyone up because that's the last step.
Yeah, but I bought a car for Ellie this weekend. And,
you bought a car for her, or you went with her to buy a car?
No, I went with her, and she bought the car. I was there.
Congratulations. Did she get a Nissan Maxima or whatever your car of choice is?
Oh, American muscle car? No, she bought it American though, Toyota Corolla. So that was or Toyota Camry rather. But yeah, American. Yeah. But I was thinking that because we like started signing the papers, and the people next to us had the salesperson talking. Then they brought out the manager, and then they brought and then they kept on bringing up more people, and I was like, shit, we didn't get to the torture part. Damn it. So they got us. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what car buying is. Just torture. I mean, how many guys can you withstand before you actually get the best deal?
Oh, I was like, I bought my car. It was last year, and some of it was fun, and then other parts I was like, just shut up. The way that car is like, oh, come on, Dylan, like, so it's deals right here. It's a great deal for you. I'm like, don't tell me what's good for me and what's not good. You don't know me. The guy's name was Keith too, which was funny. Because I was like, Keith, you don't even know me. It's like, that's the worst name. Have you seen Family Guy?
Yeah. If someone said that to me, I've had that. Someone said that to me. It's like, why don't you just buy it? You like can't afford it. And I was like, all right, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, that was legitimately it.
I was like, again. I was
what,
so
you think
upset.
You can't afford this car? It's too much for you. I'm like, I'm not nickel and diming you. I'm trying to get a freaking. I'm trying to get you to give me a decent deal. It's like, no, we could never do that deal. And then like 2 days later, it's like, oh, sure, like we'll do that deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd rather pay more money than have some guy talk to me like that. So that's my philosophy. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. See you later. I'm never talking to this fucking dude again.
Yeah.
My dad used to do that, and they'd call like, what can we do? And he'd be like, fire that guy, and I'll buy the car.
Oh, I respect that.
Yeah.
What is it going to take for us to get you in this car?
Yeah.
Oh my God, really? Like,
Yeah.
those people are terrible.
Yeah.
The best move anyone buying a car is just go to all different dealerships and tell them, get all, what are they going to give you for your trade-in? What are they going to charge you for the car? And then just send that directly to the other dealership because they're just fighting each other. And then
it's just a torture system. You just need, if you're okay with torture for a full day. We spent 5 hours there and we bought the car in an hour. I mean, you end up just sitting there forever,
Yeah.
It's brutal. So.
It's worse than getting your taint cut by Glokta.
Yeah, it is torture. Modern day torture.
What about stock down? What do you have for stock down?
Stock down, king size beds. So Jezal marries the queen, or marries
literal king size bed.
Yeah, Queen Therese in a sort of arranged marriage. Turns out she's kind of a classist, eugenicist, awful person. I know they're like, well, she's a lesbian, but like, she's still a terrible, terrible person. She's like, I won't touch you because you're a bastard and you're not a certain race and class. I'm like, this is just a Nazi, right? Like, what are we doing here? So I didn't understand that whole part, and we were supposed to feel sympathetic for her because doesn't prefer.
Oh, I don't think we were. We were supposed to feel sympathetic.
All right, I was just making sure.
No, if Jezal had like forced himself on her or something, then I would feel bad for her. I was like, Glokta just eventually like kind of makes her, but they're all shitty people. So,
but I mean, it's a king size bed. I mean, you don't have to sleep with the person. They could still be in the bed with you. That's what my whole problem was. And don't get this wrong. The first night, if someone's like, you're not sleeping in here, kick you out, you're a bastard, you're not good enough, I'd be like, yeah, I deserve that. I would sleep on the floor because I probably deserve that. Night 2, let me tell you what, they are kicked out of the room immediately. They are not in my bed. That is him sleeping on the floor multiple nights. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's why we feel bad for Jezal. He's the king and he's not even sleeping in his own bed. No, he's a huge pussy.
What is he doing? You're the king. It's a king-size bed, not queen-size bed.
Yeah, it's like these people have never gone on a buddy trip and had a queen-size bed or even maybe a full bed and been like, all right, how are we doing this? Are we doing, head to toe? Are we putting the pillow fort in between us? Or are we just going for it and hoping we don't wake up face to face, with my lips on your lips? I mean, that has never happened to me, but could. Right. I'm just saying in theory. Yeah. So I think especially king size bed, those things are massive. Get the body pillow and just throw it in between, and you have 2 beds. My first stock down is classical biological control. Are you familiar with that?
Okay. Oh, CBC.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you introduce one non-native species to control another.
Give me an example, please.
An example?
Can I have it in a sentence? Origins?
An example would be, so in Hawaii, then like the late 1800s, there was rats. There was rats all over the sugarcane fields. So they said, you know what we should do? We should bring in some mongooses, because mongooses will eat the rats.
Oh, mongoose, you mean? But go on.
Mongoose. But unfortunately, rats are nocturnal and mongoose are active during the day. So they never saw each other, and instead the mongooses just ate all of the native ground nesting birds and their eggs. And it was
how is that a good example?
It was a disaster.
That's the opposite of what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is why it's a stock down. But there was also the toads in Australia.
So I'll give you a better example. It's when St. Patrick, who was completely real, came to Ireland and drove all the snakes out, right? Is that right? That's a better use of it.
But didn't he like play a flute and all the snakes came or something like that?
I have no idea how that whole mythology worked. It's all real. It's all true.
There was I think they did it in The Simpsons, but in Australia, they introduced, there was like a beetles, same kind of deal, beetles eating all the sugarcane crops. So they introduced cane toads.
Kangaroos?
No, toads. And the toads are like highly toxic, and they have no natural predators in Australia, so they just had like uncontrolled population explosion. That was it. So those things have happened. I'm pretty sure that was in the Simpsons episode. My whole point being,
so it's a negative. It's not a positive.
Yeah, it's a stock down. The stock is down.
I'm saying people. This is the use case. The CBC is when someone introduces something inadvertently to solve a problem, but doesn't solve the problem.
It can be good, but
all your examples are bad examples.
Yeah, that's what I'm using, the bad ones.
Okay.
So, they can also, there's other times that they, like another time in Australia, they had the prickly pear cactus was just taking over farmland. And so they brought in a moth, and the moth's larva eats the cactus and it reclaimed the land. So stuff like that. Fine. They introduced gray wolves back into Yosemite or whatever. I don't know if that's working or not, but either way, this is pretty much what the Northmen did to defeat Bethod by unleashing the Bloody Nine. At the end of the day, no one else could have bested Fenric the Feared in hand-to-hand combat, but also no one else would have gone berserker mode and murdered his good buddy Talduru and a child just because, he was in the bloodlust, and now he's King Logan, so they're kind of stuck with him. My point being, if you sometimes introduce a species into a population to try to control something, it can backfire on you pretty quickly. So don't do it, people.
Yeah, I guess. He's no longer king because he had to jump out of a window.
Well, dude, don't get ahead of us, okay? But yeah,
the book's over. What do you mean?
Just say he pulled a Zach Bretler.
What now?
A Zach Bretler from the next book we're reading.
Oh, that guy's okay. Yeah.
He jumped out of a balcony. Same thing. Are you laughing? Yeah. He's the real person. He's dead. You're fucked.
Spoilers. We don't know that he dies. I haven't got to the end of the book yet.
He's definitely.
I don't know. This whole book is tipsy turvy. He could be still alive.
Oh, you haven't finished it yet?
No.
Spoiler alert. He's not alive.
Okay.
Did you have other stock down?
Duels stock down?
Oh, wow.
I love the duel in this, but I didn't love the duel rules. I said that 10 times fast, but my whole problem with it is you can bring whatever weapon you want in or whatever thing you want in, but then you could choose the other person's weapon. I feel like you should have one weapon, and the other person doesn't know what it's going to be, and you come in and say that's it. It shouldn't be it doesn't make sense because, like, let's say you challenge someone to a duel,
mm-hmm.
one of their arms doesn't work well, or their arms cut off, or hands cut off, right? That's normal in a dual society that people have been to multiple battles. Their hands or arm have been potentially cut off, or leg, or there's other things. But then you just bring in, let's say I just bring in a bow arrow in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against that person that has one arm, or one, he can't only have one use of hand. He can't use the bow and arrow, and then I pick his weapon and I just kill him immediately because he doesn't have a weapon.
Why is this the point of this, that someone doesn't have an arm or a leg?
I'm just saying, but that if there's a weakness to the person, and so this happens here.
They're picking their champion. You think a champion is going to not have an arm or a leg in a duel?
You can duel whoever you want.
Yeah,
you just challenge the person. So let's
assume that everyone is fully able.
And this is a perfect example of this is he brings armor that is too heavy for the other guy to use. So then the other guy gets to pick. So he could just picked his weapon and killed him immediately. He could have. He was too arrogant for no reason. But I'm just saying, like, you can't just pick. You can't just add a weapon in that only you can use and the other person can't use, because then you automatically beat them if you get to pick first. Like, that's my whole point. Is like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
It should be here are the 3 standardized weapons. We've made duplicates of all of them. You pick which one you want. We're not telling you what the other person picked. You both pick. You come into the circle. You have that weapon.
It's like Gladiator, so everyone has their own thing that they're bringing in. Like
or you bring one thing in, and
some
that's
guy's
all
good with the net and trident. I always like the net and trident guy.
Like,
well, how's that a thing?
I mean, I didn't like the rules. So, and I mean, I was trying to give you a good analogy, but you fucking squashed that.
Well, you could have just said the analogy that was in the book. Instead, you're like, so the guy has one arm and half a leg.
I'm saying he's a weakness. If any person has a weakness, it's not fair. That's my whole point.
His weakness is that he wasn't strong enough to pick up the other guy's armor. So it's also like the armor doesn't fit him. It should be a weapon. Like, it should have to be a weapon. So
yeah, you shouldn't be able to wear armor at all, frankly.
Yeah, it's just weird that you could be like, all right, so I'm going to get in this giant rock, and I'm going to live in this rock. And
I'm bringing a tank. That's my that's my weapon.
My last stock down was happy endings, not the kind you're thinking of. So the series doesn't really end well for any of our characters except Bayaz. Adju is destroyed. An unknown number of people are dead. Jezal is the puppet king, the French Vichy government. Glokta is now Bayaz's lackey. Logan's own men turned on him, and like you just said, he pulled a Zach Bretler to escape being murdered. Little Easter egg for our next book. Dogman's friends and fellow Northmen lay dead around him, their sacrifices seemingly for naught. Column West finally got his wish of rising through the ranks of the military, only to be riddled with the wasting disease, aka radiation poisoning. I can't think of anyone else. I guess like Artie marries Glokta, which like could be worse. She's probably got the better one. I guess Ferro probably has the best one because the demons try to get into Ferro's head. Now she's like, got the demon in her, and they're trying to mess with her. Like, oh, go do this, go do that. And she's like, nah, I don't think I will. She basically just says like, nah, I'm too stubborn, so demons don't have an effect on me.
She doesn't really sleep anyway, so I was gonna say it would suck trying to sleep, but she doesn't sleep anyway, so yeah, I guess it's fine.
And she's just gonna go off and try to kill the Gurkish emperor. So she probably has it the least worse, besides Bayaz. But yeah, it's just like, usually when you read a fantasy trilogy, even something like Red Rising, which has a lot of death and a lot of the characters we love end up dying, there's still light at the end of the rainbow. There's still happiness going on. And granted, the Red Rising trilogy continued into another trilogy where there was, more death and whatnot. And this has more books. I don't know exactly what they go down. But I can't imagine that there's many positives throughout. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you can still enjoy a book even if it doesn't have a happy ending. Or usually with movies that kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't know why. But for the book, it's fine. I was okay with it. Everyone grew and changed, but they definitely weren't left.
They kind of ended in the same place they started.
Yeah, different, but in the same place.
Some of my favorite endings are like that, where it comes full circle.
Yeah, I mean, we were introduced to Logan as he's jumping off a cliff
exactly.
to get away from the Flatheads, and now he's jumping out of a window to get away from the Northmen. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, the first people were actually terrible orcs, and now it's his own people who he's jumping away from. So, yeah, he's in the same place, but definitely a worse place because at least he had his boys, and now he doesn't. Now he's really all alone. Do you have any other stock downs?
Last one, grass is always greener, stock down. That is the saying, the grass isn't always greener, because I need to get one more shot at your boy Jezal. I can't help myself. I mean, I thought he was turning a corner in the last book, but he just continues to be a huge bitch. They give him king, and he's like, all he does is complain. Do you know how many people would kill, and they have killed, to get where you're sitting? Like, oh, you have to, I can't do every single thing I want. Like, who cares? Like, the worst thing he has going from, he gets a king size bed, he gets a hot lesbian wife. Yeah,
that he can't sleep with.
Yeah, whatever. He can sleep with anyone he wants. Literally anyone he wants. So who cares? Cry me a river.
But the only one he wants is Artie West, and she married Glokta.
Then go marry her. He can.
She married Glokta.
Oh, he could have had his chance.
And he can't marry her because Bayaz won't let him. He's got the handcuffs. He's got the golden handcuffs.
Oh, my God. I mean, he sleeps in silk sheets, pajamas. He wakes up, gets food served to him.
He doesn't want that. He wants to actually change. He wants to change. He wants to then go do good things.
Then go do it.
He can't. Bayaz will not let him.
Oh my God! I can't believe you're defending him. He's literally the only person impeding his progress is himself.
Here we go. What are you, a life coach now?
He sits at a meeting, and when he's bored, he just chugs alcohol. I'm like, this sounds awesome. And then he just interrupts and just decides what he wants done. Like, that's what a king does.
And then Glokta says, no, you can't do that. Bayaz says no. And he goes, oh, fucking daddy.
He's like, no, West is going to be the head of the commandment. And they're like, well, you should probably quiet down. He says, shut the fuck up. I'll do whatever I want. And they all listen to him. And he's like, all right, see? So he can do whatever he wants.
That was one time.
He can do that whenever he wants.
We'll see. We'll see in the next one.
Who cares about being a puppet? You literally have everything handed to you. I mean, and also, if you really wanted to go against Bayaz, all you had to do is, one, get your whole army, you have a whole army, just go be like, tell one dude, go kill Glokta, get rid of this dude, he's done. Now we get a whole army, we mount a fence, you start doing whatever you want. Worst case scenario, you die. But
how do you pay? How do you pay your people?
How do you pay your people?
Like, how do you?
I mean, he's a whole kingdom. I don't know. I assume there's an economy behind the whole kingdom.
Bayaz runs it all.
Oh my god! So again, what's impressive about Bayaz then?
Bayaz is Tony Soprano.
Oh my! I don't know. He eats a lot of food and fucking chews his mouth full. Is that what it is?
So we had like a getting to know you thing at work. I don't know. They just bring people up and they talk to them. Yeah, icebreaker kind of thing. And the guy who they were talking to, it was, if you could have dinner with any person, living or dead, real or not real, who would you have dinner with? He said Tony Soprano. I was like, Keith would be rolling in his grave. This guy just talking at you and over you and furiously twiddling stuff with his fork and eating with his mouth open and breathing heavy.
We need to dive into that. Give me one positive quality about it. The whole show is just him whining. So like a therapist, and then whining about his wife, and then whining about his kids, and then whining about his like the people underneath. Like, what's he good for? He's Bayaz. That's why, or he's Jezal rather. That's why you like him. No wonder.
I wanted to be like, stop this whole thing. I need to have a one-on-one with this guy as to why he actually wants to sit down with. I love me some Tony Soprano. More in doses when he's talking about Christopher Columbus or, who's buying the gabagool. But I couldn't imagine wanting to sit down at dinner with him. It would make you so uncomfortable all the time.
What a terrible response.
All right, but good stuck down, Keith. That was just a non sequitur so that you would stop talking about it.
What the hell?
What about favorite scene? Do you have one from this book?
Yeah, I mean the fight where they're holding the ground for 7 days.
The high places, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to find the guy's name. Who's the guy that they're fighting with? Like the weird dude. That's my favorite character.
Yeah, the guy talks about the moon.
Yeah, that guy's the fucking man.
Who's Logan killed his son. Yeah.
Yeah, even then he was like...
Crannick?
He's like, that's on me. Like, I let a fox out in the hen, thing, and you killed my son. Like, he's pissed about it, but he's also like...
I let a fox in the hen thing.
He's pissed, but at least he's taking some sort of responsibility and not being a huge fucking bitch like Jezal. Yeah. But anyways, that was my favorite scene. That right into the duel, like that whole scene there was by far the best. Great duel, great everything. Even though I didn't like the weapon thing, but everything else about that was great.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. No, 100%. Same page. The Alamo-esque battle at the high places.
Yeah.
I like it because it has all of the elements of a good war battle or something along those lines, because it's them prepping the walls. They come into this place and it's, not nearly ready for them to actually make a last stand. Yeah, so they're doing everything they can to kind of prepare. They know that it's a potential last stand because if the union's supposed to come and they have a certain amount of days, but at the same time they don't even know if the union's definitely coming or not. Yeah. So they're thinking, okay, we just got to hold out as long as possible. And it starts with, some skirmishes where they're just testing the defenses. And then it's all the flatheads that they got to fight. And then the next day it's like actual Northmen and they're getting behind the walls. Logan goes berserk. It's great. It's all great. And then obviously West comes up and saves the day. But yeah, it was definitely cinematic. And then, like you said, to put a cherry on top with the duel afterwards. And the duel also was cool because at the same time, Dogman and whoever else was with him, Black Dow or whatever the case is, are going in to kill the witch, who they need to kill, or the sorceress, whatever, to kill her so that Logan can win. And so that was fun too, seeing them infiltrate the castle or whatever the place is that Bethod was at. So yeah, big fan of that. What about, this could be for this book or maybe the series as a whole, but for best character, at least in this book, we get main point of views from Logan, Glokta, Jezal, your favorite character, and we get some secondary point of views from Ferro, Column West, Dogman, and I don't know, there's obviously a bevy of other characters that you could pick from if you wanted to, but who is your favorite maybe for this book or for the whole series?
I think as a alternative just for this one, which
sure
was the witch. she's really the main bad guy. She gets 1.5 minutes of screen time, but she's kind of the one that's seeing people coming from, like, she's able to do that. I think she was the one that raised the the dual guy.
Fenric the Feared.
She's like protecting him. She's like doing everything. And she's kind of like the main bad guy, but somehow she's not really talked about. We see her for 2 minutes and then she dies. But hey, great, great overall book for her.
For you're saying screen time to
screen time to impact. Yeah, she was. Well, it is funny too because did we ever see Bethod at all except for when the first time we meet him is in this book, right?
No, we met him before because in the first book.
Oh, did we? Okay.
He comes in and talks. That's when Bayaz blows up a couple guys' heads. He comes in with his witch and Fenric.
I don't remember that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, we see him briefly in the first one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because he talks to Logan and he's like, "Oh, Logan, you were my champion. Now here you are." I guess we could give an honorable mention then to Mamoon as well because Mamoon is like, oh, he's pretty badass too. It's going to be him versus Bayaz. And then Bayaz just like takes the seed and just blows them all away. It's like, oh, all right. I guess Mamoon's gone. Yeah. But Logan's your number one?
He's the one I'll remember the most, just the whole like flipping a switch and becoming the crazy person that's going to kill anything, you know. And then it is like, I think I said the last one, but I do feel the most sympathetic for him because he can't become a better person because he literally has like a disease, you know. Love it or hate it, it's good for when you're in war, but it's probably, I think, didn't he say he killed his dad? He didn't know he killed him. Like he's had a pretty tough life.
Yeah, he can't control it. I feel when he's being normal Logan, he's such a grounded, what he did with Jezal and Ferro, like we talked about in the last book, where he really managed those different emotions so well that you know he has good people skills and can understand people and work with them. The fact that the Northmen voted him king, granted, I know it was mostly because of his battle prowess, but at the same time, he's a good guy around the fire, you know? Yeah. So it's tough with Logan because he does have this disease or whatever the case is, but he doesn't seem to show a ton of remorse for it. He's just like, well, that's what happens when the Bloody Nine comes out. It's like your buddy who every time he drinks becomes a different person and they're terrible and, you know, terrorize the group and make the night not fun for everybody. But he's like, well, that's what happens when I drink. Like, what do you mean? It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You don't have one of those?
Are you talking about me?
No. It's like, if you don't know who it is, it's you. Yeah, you don't have one of those? I guess in your group you don't have one of those? I got a couple, so.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of people in my group that are fighters, which I think those are the worst people.
Yeah, I've got maybe one or two potentials, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking. Well, I guess, yeah. They're that too. They are that.
All those stories you've told of your buddies are just, so you've never had that buddy just spits on people randomly? I was like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, everyone has one of those guys.
So, dude, there's a girl. I'm not going to hit her. It's like, you don't just spit on people. I don't care who it is. So what are you talking about?
I was kind of joking. That's a real story. Okay.
That is a real story. Yeah.
Okay. I remember you saying that people used to gleek people, and I was like, I've never heard of that term. And you're like, yeah, you never had people just spit on people? That's what I was talking about.
That was more
so you're talking about guys spitting on girls, too?
That happened in high school. We had like an open quad, and there was for like a senior day, all the seniors would pull in their cars and have them loaded with water balloons, and the seniors would just like go around the quad after school, like just pegging people with water balloons. It was great. It was like great fun. You know, if you're a senior, it's fun. If you're not, it's like, oh, this is cool. Whatever's happening. And my buddy, we were juniors, and the seniors came in. They had like a laundry basket full of water balloons, and he went over and just grabbed them from this girl. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? Those are our water balloons. And he was like, they're mine now. And she's like, no. And he just spits on her face. It's like, oh my God, you are a bad person.
Yikes. Wow. 0% chance that they do water balloons now. That'd be like bullying not. And
yeah. No, 100%. All the fun stuff's gone. They used to do like assassins too, whatever that is, with like squirt guns. Super
didn't
fun.
Someone get like shot from that? So they're like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah. There's definitely a sadness going on around all that stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, it's even like pranks used to be good. And then some guy, he went fishing and then basically took a 5-gallon bucket of like fish chum and let it sit in his shed for a year. And then basically filled all of these like fermented fish guts in water bottles and then went around the school and was basically like throwing them everywhere, like up in the panels and the
terrorism.
ceilings.
That's not.
It was like a biological war. He got arrested. It was a whole fucked up situation, but it was, in theory, he's like, oh, this is going to be funny. But then in practice, it was just like he ruined the school. It's biological warfare.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild.
Yeah. Funny times. For me, it's going to be Glokta. He's my number one throughout the series. I do like Logan for sure. I just think Glokta is such a unique character that was written by Joe Abercrombie. Like I've never seen another Glokta, you know?
Yeah, he'd be my number 2. 1A, 1B maybe.
He has his positives. He has his negatives. He says a lot of the times that, even sometimes he's like, talks about his torture. And he's like, that could make someone go crazy. And he's like, maybe it made me go crazy. I don't know. It's possible. Like I'm pretty nuts. And he has no qualms about what he's doing, but at the same time, he doesn't have, there's not like a moral compass thing. He's just like living his life, doing his job, waiting to die. He's great. Love Glokta. Yeah. Happy that he got, and that moment with him and Artie when he proposes to her, I thought was quite sweet. It's like, oh, there is a soul in there. He's a character that you're rooting for, even though he's not a good guy. What about love hates? Let's get into some love hates. What did you love about The Last Argument of Kings?
I felt like this is what it was all for. We read those first 2 books. It really culminated. It was kind of like the book that had everything you wanted. It had kind of answers to a lot of questions. It had big war pieces. It had kind of the story coming full circle. So I do think this was what was needed. This would have been a tough series if we read this 3rd book, 60 hours in total, and then all of a sudden we found out that it wasn't really that good of a series, and the book didn't really end very well, or we needed to read another 3 books. So I think this did it justice, and I'm super happy we ended up doing the series after this book.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely glad we did it, and I agree with you for everything you said. You have to be realistic about these things, and I think that Logan quote kind of sums up Joe Abercrombie's approach to the story. Nothing is going to be tied up neatly with a bow and make you feel great after reading it. Life's chaotic and messy, so why should it have a happy ending for all? Which I didn't even know was a thing, but this is grim, dark fantasy, and that is a thing, I guess, which is just morally ambiguous characters, and it's not always happy, and usually it's pretty bleak. So yeah, he did it really well. And I think it's hard to write a series where you're rooting for but also against all these characters, and ultimately not a ton changes, but you're asking people to commit, like you said, 60 hours to listening to it and also feel like they enjoyed that experience. So I think that's a tough, line to toe, and he did a really good job. So yeah, props to you, Joe. What else you got?
I really liked how West handled the 2 generals.
Yes, that was on my list too.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, just kind of getting them both in line, getting them both kind of fighting for the same thing. It was just really well done. Yeah,
because initially we're thinking, okay, we need Jezal to promote West so that he can go and save the Northmen, otherwise the Northmen are fucked. We're not necessarily thinking that West is the best man for the job, but he's going to definitely go and save the Northmen because he's, kind of tied to them now. And his first act as Lord Marshal is kind of playing these 2 generals, making, does a ruse with this letter that he's going to send or whatever the case is, but knows exactly how to play to each one of their egos so that they do what he needs them to do without, basically trying to turn on him or anything. And he played that so well that I was like, oh shit, I see you, West, I see you. So yeah.
Well, if they didn't name West too the head, then like the army would have split in half, because one of the generals would have been happy, and the other wouldn't have been. It basically would have screwed the whole army. So naming West was actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure. Logan returning from the dead, that was a love for me. He basically just walks into camp with all of his Northman buddies.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know how Jar writes it, but it's basically the feeling that we all have when, you and I don't see each other that often, or some of our other friends from work from years ago, or even your buddies from home. you might not see them in a super long time, but they show up and you're just like, hey, fuck you, buddy. You know, half of them are happy to see him, half of them act like he never left. It's great. It's just such a guy thing was going on there. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I did love the chapter about, I think it was like Answers or something, which was basically Bayaz laying out the whole situation for Glokta. You know, it's the exposition chapter, but I felt like for this book we obviously needed Bayaz to tell the whole story anyways. It coming from him to Glokta after Glokta figures out a bunch of this stuff was great, because those are the two people that should be involved in it. Glokta's been, he's kind of like the Batman doing all the sleuthing. So it makes sense. And I just thought it was a good way to get that piece of the story dealt with. So I liked that.
It would have been cooler too, I think, that if we didn't know he was a wizard the whole time, right? Like we was just like, oh, well, I've been playing everyone this whole time, and I'm actually this power. That would have been kind of a cooler reveal. But like I said, the last book, I kind of already was like, I think he's going to be a bad guy at the end of this. So it wasn't as good of a reveal, but it was still interesting there. For hates, the whole seed house part, I had no idea what was going on, honestly.
You mean when it's him, it's Bayaz Ferro, and it's the old woman.
The shapeshifter, which I didn't understand. It was like a big reveal, and I was like, what? I didn't know which person she was either. So remember how they like stopped off at a house of his like lover or whatever? I was like, is that who it was? I don't think it was, right?
No, that you're talking about. This was like Ptolemy, it was like the daughter of Canadius, I think.
Yeah, a lot of that lore went a little bit over my head. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. It also was really hard to picture what was going on in that house.
So Ptolemy was like still alive. She was like living as Kwai or something. Like she was the shapeshifter and she was being Kwai. I 100% agree with you with that. And that kind of spilled over into the next few parts of the story for me, where I didn't know what was going on when they got the seed. I was like, wait, who? Oh, she's like, haha, I've been quiet this whole time. Yeah. He's like, oh, how did I not see you? And she's like, yes, I died, and then I came back because the demons brought me back, and now I'm here to... It's like, okay, what's going on? From that, basically through him and Ferro fighting in the streets with the seed, and also Glokta figuring out the university administrator, like Silber or whatever his name is, and Archlector Salt were conspiring to release demons onto the world. Yeah. It was like that whole section, I was like, wait, what's happening? And it kept jumping back and forth between them. I just felt like it didn't have enough area to breathe. It seemed somewhat rushed because there was just a lot of storylines at this book, and it seemed like they were getting wrapped up in quick succession and then lightning fast, and they just had to end all these storylines at the same time, but they were also very confusing because there was a lot of moving parts that I didn't understand. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, for sure.
That was pretty much really it for me, was that area. I just, like Ptolemy and the seed, I couldn't even envision where this seed was. It was like hanging from the ceiling or something. So yeah, I was kind of lost as I was reading it, and I kept rewinding because I was also like reading it before bed and was like, wait, what the frick is happening here? Like, it seems like it's cool stuff. Like, cool stuff is going on, but what? Like,
well, it went from like the most cinematic world experience to this, and I was like, I can't picture this in any way. They're in a glass house? That's what's happening? I don't know.
Don't throw stones.
So, right.
Any other hates for you?
I just thought there was a lot of quick economic and racial and religious things sprinkled in there that they never really backed, or just, it was like they quickly touched on it being like, oh, it's because they're black. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize there was racial components to this. And then they never came back to any of it. So I was like, it's a weird thing to just throw in there and not really resolve or tell you why, or, you know what I'm saying? Did you feel that, or am I just crazy?
I didn't feel it necessarily with the racial aspects, but I think are you talking about between like the Gurkish and then also the Queen Therese or whatever the thing is?
There's a lot of, and then there was also like religious elements.
The religious stuff for sure. I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, so it just seemed like there was a lot of like other things which I think they were trying to tie him to our society, so they didn't really resolve any of that. So I don't know. It just seemed like it was a throwaway thing to like put in there.
Yeah, I think my biggest complaint on the series as a whole was just the understanding or the way it was communicated. about the relationships. We talked about this in the last one of all of Bayaz's people. Ptolemy, Canadius, Juvens.
Yeah.
All of those people. It was like, okay, who's what? But if you look it up, it's like, okay, this was this person. You started it, and he touched the other side, and because of that, he had these kids who then had demonic blood in them, like Ferro. I need to be hit over the head with that, so that I can actually understand what's the bigger picture and like who are the people that started this whole thing. Because even, we've talked about it before, but like even Mistborn, which has a ton of magic elements and they all can be used interchangeably and do different things, Sanderson just throws them at you often enough that you kind of understand, oh, bronze does this. Like, I kind of get what bronze does. Mm-hmm. Whereas this, it's like it was mentioned once and then it's just like he uses his bronze power and you're like, wait, what does that even mean? So I was a little confused about the people when it comes down to
you take all the magic out of this. I think the book's just as good, if not better. Like, you take everything, like if it's just a medieval society that are fighting with politics and different things, or if you like replace that whole backstory with a dragon, the seed is a dragon, it makes more sense to me. Like,
or it could literally be gunpowder. It could be they went to a different place and they found this explosive material.
Yeah, it seems like it could have. It wasn't really a magic book for 7/8 of it, and then all of a sudden it was really quick, and you're like, wait, what? And then there's all of a sudden they're adding in lore, all of a sudden really quick. It's kind of like Harry Potter when they're like the Master Wand, but they did a really good job like spelling that out. They're like, here's a kid's book on how this happened. I get it now.
Talk about the best way that's been translated in film. Like the way they did it in the movie was amazing with the animation. But we talked about that. Go check out our episode on the Harry Potter stuff if you want to hear that. Lingering questions. I only have one, but if Bayaz had this whole plan to get Jezal on the throne so he could control him, how did he fit into West killing Ladislaw? Or was it once West killed Ladislaw, Bayaz then saw, oh, if I can kill Reynaud, then I'll have the ability to get whoever I want on the throne? Or would Ladislaw already have been a patsy for Bayaz because he was an idiot too?
Yeah, I wonder if West and the prince that he was with there, they weren't supposed to see any action. So I wonder if someone slipped him a little note on that, on where to attack and find the weak spot.
Oh, Bethod?
Yeah.
Someone told Bayaz told Bethod, like, oh, go. Oh, interesting.
They were supposed to be in an area that wasn't fighting.
But even then, that's no guarantee that Ladislaw is going to die.
I think Bayaz is kind of just sees the whole chessboard. He's like, he plays percentages. He's like, all right, well, if I don't kill him there, if he doesn't die there, well, I will get rid of him another way.
He's an idiot. I'll take care of him, and I have a better person. He might have not even noticed that Jezal would have been a good fit. Well, no, because he did, because the whole Jezal.
Well, he said he had like 10 backup plans, so like Jezal was just one option.
But in the first book, when he wins the duel or whatever, the tournament, Bayaz makes it so he wins the tournament. So he was his number one plan for sure. I don't know who else's backup plan would have been. Granted, he could have got to Ladislaw. Like, that wouldn't have been hard to do. Since we read the whole series, I think we should cast it. So did you have some people you'd like to cast for some of our main characters?
Yeah, I think for Glokta, William Dafoe. I feel like.
Oh, okay. Way too old, but sure.
I mean, I don't think the age mattered. I also didn't really know what Glokta's age was. I thought he was like 40, but I don't know if he was
pretty much a contemporary with Logan, and Jezal's a little younger, but he's like Dogman Logan. He's like contemporary with them. So I mean,
don't think it matters what age he is. I mean, that he's not a physical character. It doesn't really, if anything,
I like the idea. Also, it's like he can be older because he's like so beat up from the world.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he would be great for sure. I like the casting. I had Paul Bettany for Glokta, he's like Vision from the Marvel movies. He was the Herald in A Knight's Tale.
Oh yeah, he's used to playing. Isn't he the
Oh yeah, he's Silas in what's that book?
I like how you
Dante's
knew by
Inferno.
me saying, I was going to say all white, but I couldn't think of the name for it.
Albino?
Albino. He's 55, kid. So we're up there in age also.
Yeah.
He looks very good for 55. Holy shit.
Doesn't he?
Good for him.
He's also, I didn't realize, but he's married to Jennifer, what's her name?
Jesus Christ, this guy knows what he's doing, huh?
Yeah, he's married to Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, good for him.
Which, like, they've been married, I didn't even realize they've been married for like 25 years.
Jennifer Connelly is a fox. She's 55 too. That's incredible. Both these people, they must be drinking children's bloods. That's the only answer to that.
Who else you got?
Logan, I did Tom Hardy.
Same.
Same. Oh, all right.
Same.
We're locked in.
Yeah, locked
just
in.
got fired from. I actually watched the show he just got fired from, but good show.
Oh, I saw a headline about that, the Pierce Brosnan thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that after he leaves. So that big mistake from them.
Oh,
he could be late if he's the whole show. So
yeah, you like him in Peaky Blinders?
Yeah. I just rewatched Peaky Blinders, although the last 2 seasons and the movie were terrible. But
really?
Neither
I was actually about to start it because we are out of TV shows. And Caroline's never seen it. And I was like, oh, we should watch Peaky Blinders. But
yeah, it's good. First 4 seasons I liked. And then 5th and 6th season were kind of bad. And then the movie is terrible. So.
Oh, that's too bad. Who else you
got? Ferro, Zoe Kravitz.
Dude, what? That's who I had too.
Oh, we're pretty good here.
I had Zoe Kravitz, or the other one was the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy. What's her name? Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe her as an actual person that hates everyone. Even when she plays that in the Marvel movies, she's not believable. You're like, she's nice.
I agree. But Kravitz, yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. I was like in the car. I was like, oh, Zoe Kravitz would be great for that. All right, let's keep going. What else you got?
I didn't do Jezal because he's a huge bitch.
Okay.
You guys anyone for that?
I had Jacob Elordi for Jezal.
Oh, okay.
He's like so hip right now, and he's also just beautiful. So he could play.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He could play that character. He looks kingly, but also he can play the meek side. So, but he also has to be able to swing a sword.
Yeah, that's kind of an insult to him, but all right, totally. Dogman, I had Charlie Hunman.
Okay, I had Adam Driver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like that.
I think they do have to be gritty, though, and I think they both have that ability to, be that gritty. Like, they're both attractive, but they can also be just...
Yeah. We know they have to hook up with that one girl. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have anyone else?
I didn't have anyone else. I'm trying to think
Bayaz? You didn't cast Bayaz?
Oh, shit. I didn't cast Bayaz. Damn it.
I had John Malkovich for Bayaz.
Oh, I like that. I was thinking of someone for Bayaz, too, and I can't remember him. John Malkovich is good, though. I like that.
Yeah. I had John Malkovich for him, and then an honorable mention was Paul Walter Hauser for Kwai. Keith, Last Argument of Kings. What do you give it and who's it for? I guess the whole series. The First Law trilogy. What do you give it and who's it for? You can say the First Law. This book, too.
Okay. Yeah, I think this book is a 4.5. I'll say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought this was I don't know. The only complaint I had was that one scene, but I liked how it wrapped up. I liked what happened. I like the whole series. I think it's a top 10er. I got to look at my list, but it's probably in the top 10 for me for that.
Holy smoke. This book or the series?
This book, I put the series, I guess. I mean, it'd be the back half of the top 10, but it's not as good as Mistborn, obviously. The fact that we read all 3 books, I think, speaks to the fact that we like the characters. I think it's just really, really well written, and it was an interesting story. It was fun, and I think the next book I'm on, I'm like kind of slowed down because I'm like, I'm used to kind of a certain pace. So yeah, I would give it a 4.25 probably overall.
And I think it's the same as we've said for other series, where it's kind of like an intro to fantasy. If you like sword and sandals kind of stuff, but maybe you're bored of the typical thing you get, hero doing his hero journey thing, then this one's for you. I give it a 4, which is, I like the series. I'm glad we read it. I would suggest it to someone who is into fantasy. That maybe, I think Joe Abercrombie writes these characters so well. I liked it very much. I think the way all those pieces that we talked about didn't necessarily flow for me takes it down from being much better, because it did affect it for me. It was like, oh, okay, well, like, this is all of these storylines are just ending, and it was like boom, 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 boom. Like, wait, just Glokta is looking for this guy and he's bringing up demons. Like, what? Where did this come from? And then all of a sudden it's over. Like, oh, he's dead.
No, that's fair. It's fair criticism, I think.
All right. Well, what do you got coming up next?
All right, next, and I think you're done with it. I'm about to finish. We got London Falling by Patrick Radden Keefe. It's a nonfiction, so we'll be doing something a little bit outside of our comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 4 or 5 on Goodreads. I got 2 people calling me about it. Phone's blowing off the hook. So we're doing that. And then what are we doing after that, just in case people want to read ahead?
And then Gone Girl, listener suggestion by Gillian or Gillian Flynn. We've read one of hers before. We both liked it. So
what did we read before, the other one?
Broken Pieces or something like that.
Oh, Sharp Objects?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, that was Last Argument of Kings, and that was the first Law trilogy, and I'll catch you for London is Falling.
Indeed.
All right,
bye now.